is there observation without any control. Control being the censor, resistance, suppression, or saying, well, I have no control, I'm just doing what, that's too silly either. So, is it possible to observe, not possible, to observe without any of this?
Wanting to gain something, isn't that interfering with attention? Wanting to gain something, doesn't that prevent the...
Of course, of course, of course. After all, if one sees what is happening in the world and in oneself, this fantastic violence, aggression, with all the things applied in it. And playing with non-violence is just idiocy, the ideology of it and all that. To see the implications of violence and being totally free of it. Not as an achievement, but the understanding of the whole nature of violence.
Is this observation, when it takes place, something which, say, one can be doing all one's waking hours? Or is it something that takes place occasionally?
So, I mean, when as we are listening and discussing here, is it possible to observe? Are you observing in that sense, which we have talked about just now? Observing, which includes listening, and learning. Observing, means observing, seeing, listening, learning, all a movement. And you are asking, does this happen? Can this happen all during the day? Or does it happen only or partially during the period of sleep?
Oh, I didn't mean to ask about sleep.
I see.
I meant rather, is it something that can happen only occasionally, or can one live?
Say if it wants to, it must happen all the time, otherwise no point. From that, another question arises, which is, the censor is very deeply rooted, right? Deep down in one's being, he is rooted. One can observe superficially, consciously, without the observer. That's comparatively easy if one has gone into it, watches it, that's comparatively easy. But there is this deep-rooted censor in the very recesses, in the dungeons of one's being, in the caves of one's heart, and so on. How does it happen to bring all that out? I don't know if it interests you, all this.
Are you asking if it's possible to end the past once and for all?
No, not quite. That is a question, but that's not relevant, if you don't mind, at the moment. Here is a problem which I think must strike everybody. One can be superficially observant, right? I can observe your red shirt, your silver, whatever it is, dress, and so on, so on, so on, and learn the trick of not condemning. It's a trick. But at the deeper layers, deep down, the sensory is in operation, of which one may not be conscious at all. And that sensor generally takes charge at the moment of inattention. I don't know if you follow all this. And the moment of inattention is sleep. Am I saying anything scandalous? Because then this sensor projects dreams, all the rest of it takes place. What do the analysts?
One can, with this term, can we say that one can be asleep with your eyes open?
Wait, sir, no, don't go off at a result yet. You'll find out. See what is it. I'm inquiring. We are inquiring. One can be attentive off and on during the day, watching. Train oneself like an animal to watch. I've seen that with a great many people who have listened to all this and say, I'm going to train myself to be very attentive and pay tremendous attention during the daytime. Now, when they go to sleep, inattention takes charge because the attention is so artificial during the day. I don't know if you're... And so sleep becomes a period of inattention. Do you accept all this?
Isn't our waking state also?
Waking state also is inattention, but I'm just passing that over.
I couldn't say one way or another when I'm asleep.
So the question says to expose the sensor completely, you follow? The sensor that's hidden. The sensor that is the past. I don't know if you...
Will that affect the sleeping state?
You will go into it, so we'll find out. Don't ask me questions because you and I are exploring. So what is the function of sleep? I don't know if you... Is it a period of inattention, if I may use that word without spoiling your sleep, or is it a period which is really attention? I don't know if you're...
You're saying that attention must be as deeply rooted as the sensor in order to function?
No, in order to, not in order, that implies a motive. To live without any form of control, without any resistance, which means without violence, the sensor must come to an end. And we are asking the sensor is so deeply hidden as he is, how does it happen to expose the whole of that? What do you say? I don't know.
You'd have to definitely extend the bounds of your awareness.
What's that?
You'd have to extend the bounds of your
No,
awareness.
wait. No, look
Because
what
right
you're.
now I'm only aware of, even when I, at any one time of such a small portion of the.
I know, therefore, how does it happen to extend this attention, not only horizontally, but vertically?
True, though, I implied that.
Yeah,
I meant that.
vertically as well as horizontally.
What's the difference between vertical and horizontal?
Huh?
What's the difference between vertical and horizontal?
You know, going down.
Oh no, I know, but I mean,
Not only the scope of what you see this way.
I mean, after all science is horizontal knowledge, right?
accumulation, is that
I
horizontal?
mean, but the vertical inquiry, not only up but down. How? You understand my question? Huh? Yes? Yes, sir? One observes there is superficial consciousness with all its resistance and censorship in action, and one can, and in that observation one learns a great deal superficially. But deep down, can that observation enter into the hidden recesses?
I personally feel that that is possible. But one of my ways of doing that, strangely enough, happens when I do dream. And I have an awareness while I am dreaming about the fact that I am dreaming. And when I am finished with my dream, I look at it like a puzzle and I put the whole thing together. And very often I find some secret key to myself that's troubling me, that comes out in the dream, and it's over. It's
So you are-
finished then. I have discovered something.
Yeah,
through
so
the
you are saying, aren't you, if I may interpret if I understand rightly, dreams help one to pull out the sensor,
Yeah.
to expose the sensor. Right?
Yes.
Why do you dream at all? And then,
Perhaps because I am not living in my everyday life as I
Therefore, as you're not living everyday life, not you personally, I'm not talking personally, as one doesn't live with attention during the daytime, night, asleep, in sleep, dreams become a necessity. Right? I questioned I said, why should I dream at all? Not, I must dream in order to expose my. You follow?
yes, yes.
And finding a key to understanding through dreams. And therefore, keeping the mind, see the importance, keeping the brain cells and the mind tremendously active all the time. During the daytime, night, you follow the whole machinery operating all the time. So one is asking whether dreams are at all necessary, and is there a way, I don't mean a method, how does it happen to expose the hidden? We have ruled out analysis. I'm sorry, there are any analysts here, so forgive me. We ruled out the analysis. The analysis, because we went into that sufficient, we don't have to go into. We said analysis implies time and analyzer, they analyze one fragment, assuming the authority of the analyzer, and so on. So that's out. As far as that's out. It has no meaning to me personally. Then, how is all this to be exposed? I don't know if you are interested in this. Personally, I am tremendously, because if the sensor is in operation at the deeper layers of one's consciousness, and the mind is only polishing up on the surface, there's no meaning. It has a superficial meaning, but it's totally irrelevant. So how does it happen? The deep layers, all their contents are exposed without analysis, without searching. Searching implies a seeker. See all the difficulties in it. Who, when he is seeking, must recognize. Right? And therefore, recognition means he is observing through the past and therefore saying this is right, or this is good, I'll keep this, I won't keep. I don't know if you're following all. How do you answer this? No?
When one observes, it doesn't seem that there is the censor then. When one is observing, there isn't the person watching the observer.
No, you understood, madam, our question. In the cellar, great many things are hidden. And I have superficially polished the top floors. In the cellar, there are all these things. How do I get at that? To expose, to clean up the whole house.
Doesn't the observing do this?
Observer?
No, doesn't the observing, doesn't the person,
The act, you're saying, does the act of observation
yes,
in itself reveals all this?
yes.
Now, is this from your actual experience or are you just guessing? Please be
Well,
careful. No,
Just now, just doing it now.
no, do, because you see, we can invent a lot of theories, suppositions, guesses, and that's no good. You are saying, are you, that the observer, being the observed and therefore no censor, such observation is the factor of revealing the whole content of the cellar. Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking.
But that seems to me to be the wrong question, because the fact is that we don't observe.
No, she was, like I'm observing right now. I don't know if I'm exposing the whole cellar, but all I can tell is when things come up, I can see them happen. I can see resistances happen.
You understand, sir, the meaning of this question,
I believe so.
which is, I'm sure, I'm not doubting you, which is, if there is no analysis, or rather, if when we have understand the futility of it, or see the truth of it, and therefore, the time element has gone out of it, in the sense, taking time between the top floor and the bottom floor. You follow? There is no time at all. Because when we understand the process of analysis, you also understand the process of time. Therefore, you eliminate time. I don't know if you do. Therefore, we are asking, the observation must be freed from time. Right? It isn't that I am awake during the day, partially awake during the day, and sleep reveals through dreams the contents of the unconscious, doesn't matter, the unconscious. Therefore, both are necessary. You follow? All that involves time. I have no time. To me, time is a horror. Logically, because that implies, time implies an interval between this and that. in that interval, great many other incidents and stresses and strains and events happen, which change the course,
It also implies the search.
which change the course. So time is really a most distracting affair. So when one realizes that, when the realization of that fact that time is a distortion, a diversion, and then where are you? Then what is observation without time? I wonder if you're getting all this.
If you're fully attentive, is there a cellar?
That's the point, sir. Therefore, what does this full attention mean?
This was my experience. Those moments that I'm not expecting anything, I'm more fully attentive.
No, I don't want moments. I want.
What it
I'm
is.
not interested in occasional having food, and that is my life. One's life is much too short. And I want to enjoy the mountains and the trees and the loveliness of human. I want to enjoy, and as long as there is not, this isn't clear. All this, there is no joy in life. So, and joy is always now, not tomorrow or yesterday. So, time is a factor which is most destructive. And so, is there observation without time? See what is implied in all this. Time, observation without time, observation without the censor, observation without resistance, without control, without a motive, without an achievement. I don't know if you. What does that observation mean? Is it ever? Is it possible? Or we are merely pursuing a fancy, a dream, a lovely thing to be like that, but it's just vain, it has no meaning. You see, they say train yourself, practice, watch how you move your toe, your finger, your mind, your thought, you follow, watch, take time, take years. At the end of it, what have you got at the end of it? Not to every reaction you see Marilyn Monroe. You follow, sir? That's what they're after. Which is so idiotic. I don't want to go into all that. No, I don't know if you may laugh at it, but you see, sir, the monks throughout the world have trained themselves to this. They never see the beauty of the earth, the beauty of the tree, the beauty of a woman or a man. It's just the book and their idea of Jesus and their salvation and truth. It just, you follow? A battle going on everlastingly inwardly. Never a moment of beauty, a tremendous enjoyment of life. So, if I am serious, I must find this. You follow? It isn't just a dream. Either it is so or it is not so. Which means mind must everlastingly dwell in conflict. That's its habitation. If that is a reality, then it's all right, we accept it. That means violence is absolutely part of life, part of man. Only tame it, control it, shape it, be violent in certain direction, be peaceful. I say that's impossible to live that way. So, in inquiring, not theoretically, but actually, experiment means to put it to the test, to test it. As you go along. Is such awareness in which there is the total absence of the censor with all its implications. How does it happen? Not tomorrow, it must happen now. If it happens tomorrow, it's no meaning. Because when it happens tomorrow, I've already built dozens of resistances. I don't know. I've already distorted. I've taken a detour to come to tomorrow. The detour leads me off. So at the end of this, is the mind aware of all this? Aware in the sense, aware of the truth of all this. Not as an idea, the truth of naming, not naming. The description is not the described. The desire to seek and the implications of it. Control, see the truth of it, the truth, not the idea of the truth. Is that what we are doing now?